Recording. Okay. Callie, take it away, my dear.
Oh, you're just gonna let me take her
Okay,
away.
well, do you want me to introduce you? I can introduce you.
No, it's fine. I can go.
Because this is Superstar Director Callie Petticord and Becca Levi. Oh, yeah, Becca Levi. And I had the pleasure of, was working with her earlier. I was supposed to be getting like this all together. And Callie's like, do you want me just to do it for you? I can do these with my eyes closed. And that way you can just kind of sit back, take notes, and see what I discuss. And I absolutely said, would you mind? Are you sure? And so Callie is offered generously to do this, so we can hear it from a different perspective, and find out all the great info that you need to know as a new consultant, or maybe you just came back and reinstated or been back in a while, or maybe you've been a consultant a long time and you're still going to learn something you don't know and apply it to your business, or know it so you can start sponsoring and growing your team. So Callie, thank you so much.
Of course, I would do anything for Heather. So yeah, Callie Petticord, and I do, for years, my mom and I have done the a new consultant training call. Every Thursday we did it for a while, and then we went to the first Thursday of every month. And I won't lie, for the last, I will say, probably 6 months, I've actually slacked on doing mine for my group. And so it's been a little while since I've done one, so bear with me. And I don't typically do mine on Zoom. We've always done ours on free conference call. So it is going to be slightly different. Again, bear with me. But it's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of it really, really quick. So hopefully you have a drink, a pen and paper, and we're just going to seriously just dive into a lot of the basics that go with starting your business as a new consultant. Not only that, but it is so much information, and there's always something to learn. Even me, and I know Heather, I learn something new every single day. So know that we cannot teach you everything in this one call, but we can get you the basics of where to find the information, how to find the information, a little motivation, and we'll get you on your way to starting your business off right. So as Heather said, well, I don't know if she said this. I said this maybe. We've been around a long time. I work my business alongside my mom, Becca Levi. That's why she said Callie Petticord and Becca Levi, because we've done this together for so many years. So I am going to share my screen, which is also something I don't normally do, for my workstation. So you guys can kind of follow through with me. And just know, again, when you see our numbers, we've been around a long time. I think we're over 12 and a half years now. My mom is not your normal human being, kind of like Heather. And so when she originally started the business before I joined her, she went hog wild and crazy. And then one thing to always know about about Scentsy or building a team or doing any of that is that it's kind of like compound interest or exponential growth that happens. So I tell you that so that when you see my numbers, you aren't discouraged. And yeah, so that's why I'll give it a little bit of preface. So first things first, we're going to dive through your workstation. We're going to talk about some things in the new consultant training guide. And then I'm going to give you a few other tips and tricks and things that we've kind of learned over the years and that have helped our group, our team, and our organization. So where did Zoom go now? Oh my gosh, I'm turning into Heather. It's fine. It's fine. Where's my share screen? Okay, here we go. She's always like, blue hole, blue hole. Okay, so first things first is you are going to go to workstation.scentsy.us or workstation.scentsy.com now. And you're going to put your consultant ID in. That's one thing I always like to tell my team is that's cool about that number is that's how many consultants have joined since before you. So our number was 4,654. And I think now they're like in the 8, 9, over 1 million consultants have joined. And so I think that's kind of cool to know. That doesn't mean that's how many consultants are currently in Scentsy, but that is how many people have joined. So when you log in, you'll put in your consultant ID and your password that you created when you joined. If you forgot that, you'll click forgot password and it will be emailed to you to whatever email address you put on file. And then you're going to log into your Scentsy dashboard. Now, mine is going to look slightly different than yours because you're a new consultant, or if you're a reinstated consultant, you have some different goals and different things that you're able to achieve that I don't necessarily I have access to. And Scentsy does some really cool things where they actually put those trackers here on this home dashboard. So as you enter in parties, as you enter in, you get new recruits or team members or whatever that looks like for you and your business, then that will show here and they're going to help you track that. So just keep that in mind that those trackers will be here. But first of all, you have just your dashboard. This is going to be your month at a glance. every month, we all, even me, even Heather, we start at 0. All these numbers you see here go back to 0 and we start over. So just keep that in mind. Our commissions, our goals, all of those things run on a calendar month. Then something I also like to point out here is it's going to tell you here if you are active or not. Why is this important? So the goal is to be active every single month. And if you think about it, if you're being your own best customer, you're going to be buying Scentsy and you're going to be active using your products, but of course having your customers. So what does active mean? You can actually click this little question mark and it's going to say being active means you have 200 PRV. That also stands for personal retail volume in 1 calendar month within the last 4-month period, but not the current month. So let's break that down because it sounds like a lot of gibberish and I get that. So basically in 4 months, one of those months you need to be active with 200 PRV. In the United States, $200 typically equals 200 PRV. There are a few instances to which that won't happen, and we'll talk about those a little bit down the road, but just keep that in mind. So that is what active is, basically $200 in sales. At 200 is also a party, so that kind of ties that all in together. But there's your thing at a glance. Also, some things you'll see here is on the right-hand side, you're gonna have your sponsor and your director. And Scentsy's done a weird little thing where they put your star and your superstar director, but they don't actually put who you are or who they are. So just keep in mind that your director might be a superstar director. You might have a star director in there. For some reason, they just don't put it. Like Dorothy, she's a superstar director, but it doesn't show her as my superstar director. So that's where you can see who they are. If you actually click on your upline's name, then it will take you to another screen where you can email them. So if you need to reach out, if you haven't heard from them, one thing to know is you are an independent consultant. And so you really want to make sure that if you need help, if there's something you're not understanding, that you reach out, because we as leaders don't always know if you need help if you don't tell us. So keep that in mind. Also, I want to insert real quick because I'm not used to doing it the Zoom way. I keep seeing my bar drop down and there's a chance you might be asking questions. Because it is a lot of information, super duper fast, I don't answer questions during my presentation. I will go back at the end of the call, do an FAQ, not an FAQ, a question and answer section, and we'll scan through those. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's look a little bit more. This is a lot of stuff. What are we looking at here? So first things first, you got your dashboard here across the top. Then you've got Scentsy Success right next to that. And you'll see my little pointer arrow circling there. Scentsy Success is now, they've changed this yet again. So if you're returning, you might not know what that is, even though you think you did in the past. Scentsy Success is going to be the same here as you'll find, follow my little arrow, I'll go really slow, over here on this side of this little bar here. And if you can't see that when you log in, you can just point that out and it will pop in and out. But this has your news, your training, and your marketing. Then you have your consultant store. And this is where you're going to go and get all of your branding material. So if you need extra catalogs, if you need extra order forms, if you need testers, if you maybe want a t-shirt, if you want pens, if you need baggies, this is your hub for getting, I guess we could click it, right? Duh, Cal. Crazy over here, not used to this. And of course now it's going to run super duper slow. But you can see all the fun different things that they have here. If you need bags, if you want leggings, if you want testers, like I said, catalogs, all the things. One thing I do like to point out here is when you are ordering any sort of paper goods, so that would, I guess I should say any sort, but for instance, catalogs or brochures or any of that type of stuff, you really want to make sure that you are, I'm trying to find one that will work, but you do have the option to choose your country and to choose your language. So that is something that you really want to make sure that you do appropriately, because you don't want to get Canadian French catalogs if you live in the United States. So keep that in mind when you're shopping here in the Scentsy Family Store. Also, when you are, it's not the Scentsy Family Store, it is the consultant store. When you're shopping here in the consultant store, you can also add these items to a party order here on your workstation if you do not, if it's not customizable. So there's some things that you can customize personally to yourself. If it's not a customizable item, you can actually add that to a party. It can combine your shipping into the party, all of those things. A lot of times I will open up 2 browsers and I'll have 2 open, and I will kind of flip back and forth between my party and the consultant store to get the items that I am looking for. So that is that store. Okay, let's dive into these ones. So the other tab was Scentsy Success. News, this is somewhere you are going to want to go pretty much every time you log into your workstation. I don't know why it's not working. It loves me. Let's try this again. Okay, hold on. Rewind. Let's click here again, news. Now it's going to work because it wants to work. So the reason I say to go to the news tab every single time you log into your workstation is so that you can be up to date on the things that are happening in Scentsy. This is where they're going to go ahead and put that information for you. I don't know why it's not loading, but that's where they're going to put the information, the new releases, the things that are happening, all that fun jazz. Now, one thing, if I could get to it, I would show you, is that they have broken it down into some different areas. So you want to actually check where it says latest very slowly. I don't know what that was about. Okay, so you've got your news. So we're going to hit view more here. And are they going to break it down the way I was just saying they were? Probably not, because that would be too easy. So typically the things that are new should be towards the top. Maybe they changed it again. Heather, I'm so sorry that I'm not getting this. Oh, it is. They changed it since we last looked. Okay, so now you have this little thing here over on the right-hand side that says sort, and it's already on latest, but you could do relevance. So maybe it's a word that you search. You could search it by feature. This is things they want you to know, or things that other consultants have that they've liked. They've gone down here, they've given it a little heart, so it's bumped towards the top. So that's where you can find your news. I always sort mine, or I'm always looking for the latest section, because I want to know the new things that Scentsy is adding that I need to be aware of. This one here is really good to know, the product status list. So there might be times when things are coming in from manufacturing, they're delayed on a boat somewhere, they came from China, and so they're going through a quarantine phase, all those crazy things. And this is where you're gonna find the product status if something's on back order and when it's coming in. So that's always a really good one to keep your eye out for. The next thing you're gonna have is marketing. So here's how I think about marketing. Marketing is going to be where Scentsy puts your images that you can use to brand and work your business. So these are going to be images that Scentsy has created for you, and you can click on them. You'll find some other related content. You're going to be able to download those. You can share it with other consultants. Maybe you have a team member, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought this was amazing. You can shoot that over to them. So that's how that works. And you could always search for different things that you're looking for as well, utilizing these search bars. Now, I will say, if you have the opportunity to create your own type of marketing flyers, we do recommend that, because you want to have your face, your brand, your name on that. But if that's not something you're comfortable with, or you don't have those products, this is an excellent, excellent resource. Or if it's also something that maybe Scentsy has released that is coming, but we don't have it in our hands yet, this will be a great place to find those items. Next is the training tab. And hopefully it'll open, and it's pretty self-explanatory, right? This is where you're going to find training. So Scentsy has done a great job with putting all sorts of different videos and trainings. There's even one here for new consultants. So you could go through a whole series of new consultant training, from how to enter parties, how to look things up, all of that fun jazz. I'm actually going to talk about here in a few minutes about the new consultant guide, and that is also found here. Now, something I am going to say that I love that Scentsy has done is they have created videos. So as we go through our workstation today, I am not going to go through step by step and show you how to enter an order, because there is already a video for that here. I just want to touch on some of the things that maybe you wouldn't quite get yet. This first things first checklist is very awesome, because it's a part of your getting your Sensational Start Awards, which again, I keep saying we're going to talk about, because again, it's a lot of information, but this is where you're going to find that. So you can kind of see as you just scan through, there's going to be all sorts of different trainings for you as a new consultant. And if you haven't even gotten your starter kit yet, I would suggest going through here and starting to learn and figure things out, and kind of know what you're working with and what's going to be coming in your kit and all of that fun stuff. Okay, let me see. I will say that since they've been making all these changes to the workstation, one thing I found is that sometimes these tabs across the top really don't work for me. So I have to just all the way go back to my saved little button here that I have at the top. Okay, so that is your Scentsy Success. That is your consultant store. I'm going to go over here to this other list here on the left-hand side, and we're just going to talk through them real quick. Again, with the Orders tab, I'm not going to dive into all the different bits and pieces. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of this. So orders, pretty self-explanatory. This is where you're going to go to place your orders. A party is your first tab here for new orders. A party is it doesn't have to actually be a quote unquote party. So this is if you have a combination of over 200 PRV or personal retail volume of orders, then you could put those together and you could get host rewards, you could get discounted shipping, and all of that. You can use multiple payment forms when doing a party, and it'll have its own link that you can create. I use parties. I never use actually the individual order, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So individual order, I couldn't actually even tell you how to use that. I know that's so crazy, but I never use this individual order tab. And the reason why is because I always have a party going on my workstation. The beginning of the month, if I had to close it out at the end of the month, I'm going in and I'm creating a party for that month. And then if I need to place any individual orders, I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to place an order on my website and attach it to that party. And so I can get the host rewards and those can be accumulated. Same thing with my customers. I'm always going to be driving them to my monthly party so that those orders can be attached and I can get host rewards. As a new consultant, this is so crucial because when you get those host rewards, that's going to help you have items to do if you were on towards the beginning of this with Heather. She was talking about the fact that she was able to offer her host an additional prize, which was a deluxe diffuser for helping her get bookings. And she was able to do that because she used a half price item. And how do you get half price items? By having parties. So that's why I'm not even going to go into this because I don't even know how to use the individual order because it's not something you want to do. So always be working with a party, whether it is here on your workstation or on your personal website. So and I'll show you how to get to those. Let's just do it right now for kicks and giggles. So, that is, it automatically went to a party because that's how well it knows that it has to be. But when you come here to your personal website, and let's just talk about personal websites for a sec. This is something that you as a new consultant get free for the first 3 months that you are a consultant. So, once that 3 months is up, then it'll be charged to the card that you decided to join with. And I will show you where you'll be able to change that here momentarily. But this is something that I recommend every single consultant have. It is $10 a month after your trial of 3 months for free, but it is worth every single penny. Just like when you joined, you had to go to your consultant's personal website to join. Anybody that wants to join your team is going to have to do the same. If they want to shop online, you're going to need this personal website. If you want to take advantage of what I was just talking about, which was adding those orders to parties always, you're going to have a personal website. If you want to shop the clearance tab, you're going to have a personal website. If you want to have a free monthly e-newsletter with the specials and things that goes out to all your customers that you enter, you don't have to do anything since he automatically sends that for you. You have to have a personal website. You kind of getting my gist here? Okay, cool. So when you get to your personal website, you're going to have a little thing that says My Parties, and you can drop that down and you can select from the different parties that you have going on and shop that party. So that is how you'll get to the different parties. You'll get to your different VIPs. You'll get to fundraisers, whatever you have going on, that is where you're going to find these and how you can shop from that. As long as they've selected the party that they're going to shop from, then you will get credit towards your host rewards. Alrighty. Now I do want to point something out. As a consultant, you always want to make sure that your personal website is customized. If you don't have your kit yet, this is also something that you can go ahead and do. Or if you've been hanging out in quarantine for a while, you have a little downtime, I will show you where you can edit this, but I highly, highly recommend always having your picture here. People do business with those that they know, love, and trust. So you always want your picture there. A few other things that you can personalize are your About Me section. So you can put your own stories on here so they can learn about you. You can put some of your favorite fragrances here at the bottom so they know what to shop with. If they have the same taste as you and the things that you love and recommend, those would be their favorites. So those will be there. You can update your join page. So if you want to do more, hope I can show you here in a second. So they'll have a video, and then I've gone in and added pictures from things that we've gotten to do. And oh, look, there's Heather right there. So, you make it your own. You try and put your own spin on things. Highly recommend making your personal website as much yours as you can so that people can connect with you. People know you as an individual, or they get to learn a little bit more about you. Okay, the little bar kept popping down on Zoom. Back to the workstation. So that is how you get to the parties that you created, and why I always say to connect those parties to order, or those orders to parties. Next, you have open orders. This is where you would go to see those open parties that I showed you, go in and edit those, go and update those, and then your history. So this is going to show all the history of your orders. I'm not going to open that because it has customers' names, phone numbers, all that fun jazz. But this is where, as a new consultant, if you needed to see if maybe your kit has shipped and you want to track it and see how far away it is, this is where you're going to go to find that tracking information and all of that stuff for your orders. Okay, next we have the reporting tab. I'm going to go over this very quickly, not a whole lot, because this is something that you're going to want to dive deeper into as you've learned more about your business. Right now, in the first few days of getting going and knowing your business, you're not going to need this as much, but the performance tab is where you'll go to see your team members, their information. As you build a team in an organization, you'll be able to look over past years and see the different things that you've done, past months, all of that. So it's going to take a little time to build your history. Team, it's monitoring team sales, trends, anniversaries, all that. Sales report is something that you will probably use more, and you can actually go in here and see the different types of things your customers have bought. If you want to know, for instance, we have a campaign coming up this summer for Bring Back My Bar. If I wanted to go in and see who had purchased those Bring Back My Bars, I could come here to customer purchase history and see that. I could get, if you've been around for a while, I know we have all different ranges of consultants. You could get a business analysis report, product history, reorder, all of that stuff. So I love this for that purpose of being able to track and go back in my business. Contacts is pretty self-explanatory. This is where all your customers are going to be. Communication, I'm always completely honest with my team, and I will with you as well. This communication tab here on the left-hand side is where you can send emails and things like that. I am, again, with the transparency and the honesty, I never use this tab. I always use my own personal email, so I don't use this. But one thing that you can do here is, remember I mentioned that free e-newsletter that you get for having a personal website? You can come here and you can edit that. So if you did want to put a personal message in, you can. Again, I never do, but you can go here and edit that. This next one is one you're really going to want to pay attention to. This is the events tab. So the events tab is where you're going to find our upcoming events, and you'll be able to see past events. When we have conventions, if we have world tours, which we just had this spring, any corporate event, this is where you're going to find that information, and you're going to find out how to register. So be keeping an eye on that. We love our Scentsy events. We love getting to rub shoulders with you consultants. It's awesome, awesome. Next is the incentive tab. If you like to earn free trips, if you like to get free products, if you like any sort of award recognition, this tab is for you, the incentive tab. Right now we have our Grow with the Flow incentive, and you can come here to find out the different information about this incentive, how to earn it, an FAQ, track your progress. And we have 2 incentives a year. We have our spring incentive, our spring summer, and then our fall winter is always a large trip. So actually Heather had earned an all expenses paid trip to the Netherlands, and I earned a cruise from New York to Bermuda and back. So unfortunately, because of Corona, we didn't get to take it. Scentsy made up for it with cash buyout, but this is something you definitely want to keep an eye on, check, all of that fun jazz, because it really is. Scentsy, I can't talk, awards us and rewards us in more ways than I can even say. And so I love that about our company and our Scentsy family. All right, I'm going to jump up here right above this red bar that tells me I have messages. And I am going to go ahead, and this is where I can get support from the Scentsy home office. If I need to call them about an order, if you need to maybe send them a message, any of that you can find here. Consultant support is available Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you need to know your comparison to Mountain, it is currently 7:30 Mountain Time right now. So kind of compare to where you are. But their team is super duper awesome. And if you ever need anything help-wise, oh, I don't want to click that, then they can do that. Next is your accounts tab. Now, you know what? I'm going to click it. Don't come find me. Okay. Okay. So the accounts tab is where you're going to have all your information. As a new consultant, I highly recommend everybody goes here to the accounts tab and you check a few things out. So first things first, I know Heather's the same way. We like to send happy mail. So if you want happy mail, then I just realized something's there. Okay, if you want happy mail, then you are going to want to make sure you have your mailing address correct, and you're going to want to make sure you have your shipping address correct. There's two different things there. So make sure you go in. If you're anything like me, I have super fat fingers, and so you're going to want to check for typos. This next area here is your enrolled subscriptions. So the first one is that personal website that I talked about. You get that again free for your first 3 months as a consultant, and then you can come here and you can update your payment information if you need to. Something I'm going to say about your personal website. Think about this. If you went to somebody else's website and it was candy with a K4629.scentsy.us, are you going to remember that? Are you really going to be able to find it? Probably not. So you're going to want to make sure that that is something that's easy for people to remember. It's easy for them to get to. Don't make it super long and super crazy, because another thing about that is it's not really going to fit on your branding material or your marketing material. So try to keep that short and try to keep it something that you will be able to remember easily and others will be able to remember easily. Don't do crazy things and make your S and 8. I don't know, however, like those weird lingos work, but you know what I'm saying. Try to keep that simple. If you did go a little wild and crazy when you originally created that, you can come back here and edit that and create what you would like for your personal website. This is also where you're going to come to personalize your website. So those little personalization things that I mentioned before, this is where you're going to be able to find that. Next is probably one of my favorite parts of being a Scentsy consultant, because it is like Christmas every single month. I actually just got this today and I had been jonesing for it for about a week because other people had theirs and I didn't. And that is your monthly subscriptions for Scent and Warmer of the Month. So I'm going to just talk about this real quickly because I love the Scent Warmer of the Month. Every single consultant, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, I think every consultant should have at the very least a Scent of the Month kit. And I'm going to show you, because I have it here, what you get in that kit. If you are thinking like, at any point, no matter where you are, how long you've been in this business, I don't have a reason to contact my customers. All I'm doing is bugging them. If I call them again, I'm just bugging them. Then you definitely want the Scent of the Month, because this gives you a reason to contact your customers every single month. It's also hugely discounted product, and it's a tax write-off. And again, it's like Christmas, and who doesn't like Christmas, right? So every month we have a featured bar, featured fragrance and a featured warmer that is 10% off. The one I'm going to show you real quickly is for May. So as consultants, we can get this monthly subscription where we get this kit in advance, and you get to sample it, you get to share it, whatever you want, before it actually comes out. So you get 9 bars of the featured fragrance. You get, oh, they're in the bottom of the box. You get 50 copies of the monthly specials flyer. You get 72 rub and smell stickers. You get your party tester, so you can add those to all of your testers. And it's in the box somewhere. Oh, there it is. You get a room spray. So you get 9 bars and all these marketing materials for $35. Plus tax and shipping. So it's $5 shipping and then whatever your tax is. You do earn commission on that $35. If you sold all of the bars at 10% off during the month, you've more than made what you paid for this kit, and you got money back on it, and it's a tax write-off. It really is a no-brainer, and this is something that no matter what is going on in your business, no matter what is going on in your life, it's going to be exciting to get, because you can't wait to smell this new featured fragrance, and it's going to give you a reason to reach out to your customers. So if maybe you've been around for a while and you feel like you're at a slump at any point, get the Scent and Warmer of the Month, because that is going to give you, again, that reason to reach out to your customers. The next part of that is that you can get, and I'm not going to open it, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. You can also get a Warmer of the Month. The price of that does vary from month to month based off the complexity of the warmer. You can always go back and forth on that just by going here to the subscriptions box. Next, you have your different regions. So, brain fart, all of a sudden my brain just stopped working. So these are all the different countries that we are in as a Scentsy family. These are the countries to which you can do business. The reason I like to talk about regions is because sometimes we as leaders will mention certain things, for instance, like the scent of the month. And the scent of the month is actually only available in region 1, which is going to be the United States, Canada, and Mexico. We as consultants can sell and sponsor in our own region. So I can sell to anybody and sponsor anybody in the United States, Canada, or Mexico because I am a region 1 consultant. I can only sponsor or have people join my team from region 2 or 3. Region 2 is Germany, UK, Netherlands, Ireland, Austria, France, and Spain. And region 3 is Australia and New Zealand. Now, right now, there are some rules with Corona about sponsoring those other countries. And that's based off a country, like the actual country's laws themselves. But as a consultant, typically you can sponsor to anybody in any of these countries and only sell in your current region. So if you know somebody in the Netherlands is one of our newest countries. You want to be reaching out to them. You want to be sharing this opportunity with them because it can make such a difference for so many, as you're going to learn as a new consultant. Last but not least, we're not clicking on these, but you are an independent consultant. So I really want to point out that you can take advantage of tax write-offs, writing off part of your home, writing off part of your cell phone, your car, your mileage. So it's very important to keep your receipts and know that you will be getting a 1099 if you make $599, well, $600 or more. If you make $599 or less, then you won't get that in 2021. But having a small business, especially right now, is so huge. We are able to keep going and running in a time when a lot of companies are shutting down. And so that's one of the things I'm so grateful for. But this is where you'll find it, and you can find a tax document FAQ just by clicking here. Definitely something that you want to make sure that you keep track of, because you have so many benefits as an independent consultant and as a business owner. So keep that in mind. Okay. 2 things I want to touch on real quickly before we move on is, first of all, Idea Share. So this is over here on the left. If you look where I'm moving my little cursor around, Idea Share, maybe you joined Scentsy and you have the best idea. You think we need scented duct tape. You are so positive you would sell so much scented duct tape. You would go to Idea Share. You'd be able to share that idea, and other consultants would be able to vote on that. And then if they said, you know what, I think scented duct tape would be great, but I think scented washi tape would be even better, you could go ahead and add that comment. People can like it. And honestly, Scentsy gets a lot of their ideas from Idea Share. So if you have that great idea and you send it to Heather and you're like, hey, will you tell the owners of Scentsy to go ahead and make this scented duct tape? She's going to tell you to go to Idea Share. This is where you're going to do that. Last but not least is the Pay Portal. This, you could also go to SensiPay.com, but this is where your funds are going to get uploaded. So let's talk about that real quick. So how do you get paid as a consultant? I bet there's a lot of you that joined because you wanted to make extra money, right? So how do you get paid? So a couple things. I mentioned earlier, our numbers and everything runs on a calendar month. So what happens is at the end of that calendar month, Scentsy takes all the things that we've accomplished and all the things that we've done, and they run our commissions. And those are always posted to the Pay Portal by the 10th of each month. We're pretty lucky, and it normally shows up on the 9th. And so those will be uploaded to your Pay Portal. Then you have the choice to do a couple different things. You're going to get a Scentsy looking credit or debit card in the mail that typically comes to you about 2 weeks after you join. And you can have all of your commissions transferred there if you would like, or you can have them transferred to your personal bank or savings account, or you can split it up. One of the things I do like about the Scentsy Pay Card is it helps you create conversation. So you could go and you could pay for a pedicure. Maybe that's something that you're working for, right? You go and pay for a pedicure and you let them know, hey, you don't let them know. You give them your card. Maybe they bring up Scentsy. Maybe they don't. You never know what is going to be the seed that you plant or that you hand to somebody that is going to bring up the opportunity that you have in front of you. So that's why I personally like the Scentsy Pay Card, is because it gives that opportunity. But I also do transfer a lot of our funds to our bank account. So your options there are flexible. You do have to create a separate login to access the Pay Portal. So just keep that in mind. We don't recommend leaving your funds in the Pay Portal just because it's not built for that. It's more just to be a portal to transfer funds and different things. If you're going to save some or have it go to 10% goes to savings, 10% goes to a business account, whatever you want to do there, you have options and you can make that happen all within the pay portal. Really easy to use. But again, you do have to create a different login just to keep your funds safe. Okay, I'm going to grab a drink real quick and we're going to keep going. I'm telling you, when I do these for my team every month that I'm supposed to do them and I've not missed the last few, it's a lot of information. Super, super duper quick. So, okay. So this, I had mentioned we were going to talk about the new consultant guide. I am not going to bore you and go through the new consultant guide step by step by step, because you can go through this when it comes to you in your kit. But there are several things that I do want to point out as we go through this. And just on my touchy-feely side a little bit here, I always like to point out our mission statement and our values. And the reason I like to point those out and I like to talk about those is because you as a new consultant may not have your own, for lack of a better word, testimony or belief in the Scentsy company, but I do. I've been here, like I said, for over 10 years, and they truly do live by this mission. And everything that they do, they keep this mission and our values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity at the forefront of their minds. And so just know that we at Scentsy are a part of something special. This is a company that really takes what they say to heart and they do what's best. And we live with an arrows out motto, which means we try and give more than we take. It's not focused on us as individuals, but as a whole, our society, our world, as us as a consultant base. And I know that might sound cheesy and a little bit crazy, but it truly is the truth. And so read through that, know that. Most consultants that have been around for a while, they can almost recite it by heart. And we definitely know the key parts of warm the heart, enliven the senses, and inspire the soul. And it's truly something that we all, just as the home office tries to live by, we try to live by as well. Okay, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go through everything step by step, so you're going to see me scan over this. I do want to point out here on pages 4 and 5 of your new consultant startup guide, 2 awards that are just for you as new consultants. And I will say that those that earn these awards, that strive to get these items of recognition, not only do you have a lot of great things to help you start your business off at an exponential pace, but you have 2 to 3 times more of the success than those that don't earn these awards. So if you want to be successful, if you have goals, if you want to make money, if you want to make things happen, then these are the awards that you want to hit. Okay, so the first one is your Shooting Star Award. If you sell 500 PRV or personal retail volume within your first 15 days as a consultant, then you earn the Shooting Star Award. What does that mean? What do you get? So you do get your charm or bracelet, or your lapel pin, and you get the opportunity to purchase the Shooting Star Enhancement Kit, which is over $300 of product that you get for $200. And you do get paid commission on that $200. So it is a really, really awesome value, and it's very much so worth it. The next thing here that I like to talk about is that is helping you work towards your very first promotion. So as a consultant, you are starting out as an essential consultant, earning 20% on all of your personal sales. Your first goal is to hit 1,000 PRV, or that personal retail volume. When you do that, you promote to certified consultant, which also gives you a 5% raise, and it allows you to move on to the other levels within the Scentsy family. So that is your first goal, to reach certified consultant. And these 2 awards, your Sensational Start and your Shooting Stars, will help you get to that. If you hit the Shooting Star Award at the 500 PRV and you get the Shooting Star Enhancement Kit, you are over halfway there to becoming certified. And so that's why these are built the way they are, is to help you reach those next goals. So that is Shooting Star. Sensational Start, this has 3 different levels. I'm not going to go through each of the qualifications or each of the rewards, but you can find them on page 5. You guys can totally make these happen. You actually have 70 days to earn this award. So that's what, over 2 months to earn this award. Now, you don't get all 3 of these. It's at the end of your 70 days, whichever level you are on is the award that you're going to get. And one of the things that is really cool is at level 3, you get to walk across the big stage at our National Scentsy Family Reunion. You get over $225 in product credit, and you've earned commission on all those sales. So by the time you get to that point, you are going to be super grateful that you are a Scentsy consultant, from the commission, the free product, all of the things that you get for achieving that award. So I say bookmark these, save these, whatever you got to do, because these are your goals as a new consultant that you want to achieve. And again, the consultants that reach these have exponential success. There are a lot of other awards that Scentsy offers to us as consultants. You can go ahead and glance through these. They are monthly awards. There are annual awards. There are Circle of Excellence awards. There's so many. Like I said, Scentsy likes to reward their consultants because they know what gets recognized and rewarded gets repeated. The one I do always like to point out is the Sales Award, because I'm going to talk towards the end of this about the 2-year plan. And that is what is going to help you get to hopefully the goals that you have set for yourself. We like to dream big. And I should have said this at the beginning, because I always talk with the bigger picture in mind. We like to dream big. If you know Heather is always even setting her goals like 10 million miles ahead of mine. We like to dream big. So we always talk about the big dreamers, but really with our Scentsy family, no matter what you're here for, if you're here to earn just free products because you have a Scentsy addiction, if you're here because you want to earn $50 extra to buy new shoes or get a massage every month, or if you're wanting to get the big bucks and make what doctors and lawyers make, we're here to support you. You can have goals that no matter where they are. But this monthly sales award is definitely on the track of, I have a goal, I know where I want to be, and I want to make the money. So what is that? If you sell 2,000 PRV in any month, then you will get an extra 5% bonus for that month. So you would actually go from getting 25% to 30% for that month. In the United States, that is a $600 commission check. Now, I don't know about you, but $600 paid my car payment, my insurance, and all of my gas for the month. So that definitely can make a huge difference for a lot of people, and I'm sure that you might be included in that. So that is where if you automatically, you're saying, I want to make $600 a month, that is the goal that you want to set for yourself every single month. So I just talked a little bit about how you start out as an essential consultant earning 20% commission on your personal retail volume, and that your first goal is certified, and the Sensational Start Award and the Shooting Star Award can help you earn that promotion to certified. Here in your new consultant startup guide, you are going to see the compensation plan, and this compensation plan is also in all of our catalogs. Now, I'm going to say, look where you are and set your goal for the next level. If you look all the way to the far right of that compensation plan to where Heather and I are, you're probably going to get a little overwhelmed. But if you just take it little pieces at a time, a little bite at a time, and work your way up, it's going to seem more achievable and make it happen. Now, I'm not saying that you have to say, my goal for the month is to hit certified consultant, and that's where I'm stopping. No, ma'am. No, sir. You set that goal, but then you also take a glance at the one next to you so you can see what you're also working towards next, and keep going and keep biting that off piece by piece by piece. I feel like there's a book or something that's about that, right? Like, I don't know, but just piece by piece, keep working your way up. Heather doesn't focus on the numbers. I'm more of a numbers person. Depending on where you fall, roll with that. But also know that focusing on these 2, 3, 4% can seem overwhelming. And sometimes it's just do what you can control, focus on offering the opportunity, offering the option to host a party, or basically selling them the product, and just focus on that, and the rest will fall into place. If you consistently do those things, you will find yourself having success and easily working through our compensation plan. We already went through the workstation, so we're not going to talk about that. We talked about the different regions that we are in. We talked about Scent and Warmer of the Month. There are a few other little things that are sprinkled throughout your new consultant guide. But again, if I went through everything step by step, there's still some other really great things I want to get to. We would be here all night long. So you can take the time to scan through this. I just want to talk about some of the things that maybe you don't, that need a little bit more explanation. And that is right here when it comes to our Host Rewards program. The Host Rewards program can, again, be found in all of your catalogs and here in your new consultant guide. a couple of things that I always find that my consultants are getting a little hung up on, or they're not quite understanding, is first of all, a perpetual party reward. So you can find that here, the little bottom with this little conversation bubble here. What is a perpetual party reward? So basically, let's say my sister hosted a party for me. And at her party, her friend Jackie was like, hey, you know what? This was a lot of fun. I want to do this too. At Jackie's party, I would be able to reward my sister with an extra half price item. And that is what the perpetual party reward is for. It's to incentivize your host to help you get more parties. And you can reuse that that perpetual party reward for that. So if they had 4 parties like Heather did tonight, booked from their party, then the host has the opportunity to get 4 extra half price items on top of what she got here for her original party. So it's a pretty awesome reward. If there is not a previous hostess, that is gold for you as a new consultant, to stock up on bars, to stock up on maybe a new product that you haven't tried, to be able to make samples, or to get to experience a new product that you haven't gotten to try. That is a vital tool for you in your business. Another thing I see consultants getting hung up on is when you enter a party, there is a small fee of $5 if your host does not use their half price items. So if you have a host that maybe isn't using all of their half off items and they're only using their free credit, then you can use those for your business. If it's not in your budget, then you can offer those to other customers. You could go out there to maybe your mom, your sister, a friend, post on Facebook, hey, you know what? I have an extra half off item from a party. Is there anybody that would be interested? It gets the product into your customer's hands. And we all know the smelling does the selling. When they try a product, they fall in love, and was all worth it in the end. So that will be there. If you use all the half price items, that $5 will disappear. My word of advice is, if you're not using the half off items, or your host doesn't want to, and nobody has the budget, which this seems so far-fetched, like this would never even ever happen, right? But if for some crazy reason it did, buy a light bulb, buy a bar, it's less than the half price item. So there's that for you. Okay. Let's see. Here you're also going to see some items about Flip That Host. We could talk about that all day long because it is its own awesome thing in itself. So I'm not going to dive in super deep, but do know that you are able to take a host and flip that party to them so that they can start their own business. They can actually get a discounted kit when they do that. Which can take it, I mean, depending on how much they have in host credit, they could join Scentsy for free. So you can learn more about that by searching your workstation for Earn a Kit. And they show you step-by-steps, and they have a whole awesome FAQ. Next is the Scentsy Glossary. So as we've gone through this tonight, I have tried to say things like personal retail volume, or PRV, right? Any company, probably a lot of families, we have our own lingo. We have our own way of talking. And so if you see something and you're not quite sure what that means, jump over here to your glossary, and I'm sure you can find a definition. You can also ask your team members or myself or whomever, right? But that is there for you. The next 2 things I want to talk about are pretty important. One, we are a member of the Direct Selling Association, and we follow the Direct Selling Association Code of Ethics. So keep that in mind. You can find those here in your new consultant startup guide. You can go to the Direct Selling Association's website themselves, but do know that because we are a member of the DSA, that we follow these standards because I'm sure you've heard it, and if you haven't heard it yet, people are gonna be like, oh, isn't Scentsy one of those pyramid schemes? And we aren't. And so by being a member of the Direct Selling Association, it also shows that we abide by certain ethics that our compensation plan has gone through, certain extensive, like they've looked through that, like it's not a scam, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's none of those things. And to be a member of the Direct Selling Association, you have to follow certain guidelines and certain ethics. So that is important to know, and you can find some of those details here, especially if you're ever confronted with some of those crazy questions. And I have a really raunchy video that I can send you as well if you ever come across it. But the next thing is the Scentsy standards. So, you know, when you join Scentsy and you click through all those little boxes and you hit I agree. We do that a lot of times when we sign up for things, but none of us ever really read them. And even if we did, we probably wouldn't remember them. Okay, well, that was our Scentsy standards that you agreed to. And basically, it's our internal policies, procedures, all of that fun jazz. Now, even if you were the person that sat down and read every single line that you were agreeing to, the odds are we probably wouldn't remember them. So my suggestion is to get to know the Scentsy standards, which you can find the full standards by going to your workstation and searching Scentsy standards, and kind of learning as you go. So for instance, let's say you want to, you're creating a VIP page or a page for your business in some way. And so you're like, you know what, this is going to be Sally's Scentsy Sweet Spot. Okay, you can't do that. So you can't use the word Scentsy without using independent consultant, because that differentiates corporate and you as an independent consultant. How would you know that if you didn't, if I A didn't tell you, and B, you hadn't read the Scentsy standard? So again, as you're doing things in your business as a new consultant, jump over to the Scentsy standards and just take a look at it. A few other things they like to highlight here is some of our main standards, some of the things that are kind of cross the most or people have the most questions about. And so you can see those here in your guide. Again, not going to go through all of them, but you can check them out. And of course, as you're learning and growing in your business, check out the Scentsy standards. Last but not least, you do have the Scentsy contact page. If you have any questions that Heather maybe is unavailable, your sponsor's not available, you can go here and you can check those out. Okay. Now let's dive into the things that are not like found on your workstation and all that fun jazz. I want to talk to you about the biggest mistakes that new consultants tend to make. And the reason I want to share those with you is because we don't want you to make them. So the first big mistake that consultants make is they don't listen to their team calls or their group trainings. So I'm going to give you your first shout out and congratulations that you're here tonight because you didn't make that mistake. You know how you go to church every week, or you go to your college classes, or when you did go to college, you learned all the math equations, and now that you're no longer going to church, you don't, or church, or maybe to your school classes and using all those math equations, you no longer remember it. That's kind of what these calls are like. We got to show up to go up. We think, oh, I've heard this before, I've learned everything I need to learn, and that's not true. We have to hear things 5 to 8 times before they'll technically stick, and a lot of times the things that stick are the things that pertain to us the most. So I highly recommend that you attend every opportunity that you have and take those opportunities and implement them into your life and into your business. One of the things that I love about Scentsy is that we are about growing as a person, as an individual, about self-development. And that's a lot of what you're going to find on your different trainings is that, and then the tools that are going to help you hit the next level in your life and in your business. So tune into those calls. The next big mistake that new consultants make is they try to figure out everything on their own. You have so much support in the Scentsy family. Not only do you have all the resources that I just shared with you on your workstation, you have your sponsor, you have your director, you have your group pages, you have trainings. There's so many ways for you to get help, and you don't have to do it on your own. We love helping you guys succeed. We love seeing you succeed. And when you show up and you implement the things that we teach or that we show you, it actually like gives us like butterflies and makes us want to do more. When you guys are growing and when you're doing awesome things and you're hitting those milestones and you're excited, it fuels us as well. So just know that. The next big mistake that consultants make is they don't realize the power of setting a goal. If you don't determine a destination and a path to get there, you're probably not going to make it. Growing up, my family was all about putting what you want, your goals and your vision in front of you. I remember walking around my home and my mom would have papers with different quotes and different things placed all over our walls. She would write on the mirrors, all these different crazy things, right, that I thought were crazy then as a kid. And now I'm super grateful for. So you want to set your goal, you want to decide what you want, and then you want to keep it in front of you all the time. Set it as a screensaver on your phone. Set it as the computer background. Sorry, I'm starting to get a tickle in my throat. Whatever that looks like for you. If it's something where you have to place it on your bathroom mirror, so every morning when you brush your teeth, what am I doing to hit my goal? At night, same thing. I'm brushing my teeth. Okay, what did I do today to accomplish my goals? Do that. Set a destination and a path to get there so that you can make it happen. The next mistake that consultants tend to make is they forget to invite everybody to join, host, and buy. If you don't let everybody know how easy it is to join, they're probably not going to. We come across people all the time that are still like, oh, I didn't know I could sell Scentsy. I thought it was just something you bought and like, I don't know, I just never even realized I could make income off of a product that I love. So always offer the opportunity first. Start with that. Really like get comfortable with the word no, because you're probably going to hear it a lot. And just like the lady that offers you coffee at a diner and half the people tell her no and half the people tell her yes, or him yes, or her no, whatever, it's going to be the same thing, okay? And we can't let that get to us. We are just offering an opportunity for them to get free and half price product, for them to make potential income or get a discount on their product, right? And who knows, maybe go exponentially further. If they don't want to join, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's have you at least host a party, right? Or host a Scentsy social or a Scentsy event. Let's get you some free and half price Scentsy product just by getting your friends together and getting some testers under the nose, or not right now because we're in quarantine, right? But you could do a bingo party, a Facebook party, all of those different things. And if they still don't want to do it, then you can say, all right, well, your total 65, whatever, and thank you for letting me make X amount of dollars on you, right? And then move on. But always offer the opportunity, then the party, and then the opportunity to buy. The next mistake that consultants tend to make is they make things more difficult than they are. One of our core values, brain fart, is simplicity. Keep it simple. Pretty much everything that you need comes in your kit. If you do need to go a little bit further, we can talk about that, but keep it simple. Work with what you have and make that work for you and your business. We don't want you to go into, we're not one of those companies that want you to go into a debt and buy a ton of product and do all of those things. That's not our MO at all. We want you to be successful. I will say sometimes you do need to spend a little money to make money. There's always an investment, but we can, like I said, we can use host rewards. We can use free and half price product, you hosting your own party to make that happen. The next big mistake that consultants make is they forget that the smelling does the selling. So you guys are so lucky. You have Heather as your leader, and she is a rock star when it comes to this. I learned so much from her. I actually have a project going on right now that she created because she is a pro at getting the fragrance under people's nose. When people smell our amazing products, when they get to experience our amazing products, they sell. They sell. We are so lucky to have an amazing consumable product. So you want to make the most of every single thing that leaves your fingertips. A bill, I don't know, whatever's leaving your fingertips right now. I don't know what that is because we're in self-quarantine, but make the most of that impact. So when I get my scent of the month, I always use one bar for myself, and I do what's called scent edging. So I make sure that everything that leaves my fingertips has a fragrance. And I will take a cube out of my scent of the month, and I will rub it along the edge that would give me a paper cut so that it now all will smell like the scent of the month. And I just, whatever the scent of the month is, that's what I use for that month to fragrance everything that leaves my fingertips. Make the most of everything because it's going to leave an impact. I have some of these flyers. Maybe I didn't get rid of all of them, and I'd scent edge them, stick them in a drawer, and they still smell months and months later. So when people come across those, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that still smells. Okay, I need to get me some of that, right? Or I need to get a fragrance that I like if they don't like that one, whatever that looks like. The next big mistake that consultants make is they don't realize the importance of labeling everything. After you've been a consultant for a while, you're going to start talking in label numbers, okay? That's just part of the passage of becoming a consultant. So every catalog, every product, every order, everything that leaves your fingertips needs a path back to you. We never know where our product's going to end up, when somebody's going to want to order more or even join our team. And so we need to make sure that they know how to get a hold of us. My mom used to buy from, I think it was like Alouette was the name of this makeup company. And she would buy her moisturizer, and the gal would call her and she would follow up, and my mom would always reorder her stuff. Well, one day the lady stopped calling and she ran out of her favorite moisturizer. And guess what? There was not a label on her moisturizer. So she had to go buy from some other random person. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be making an investment and selling product and your time and all of that just to lose a customer. So just make sure that everything has a path back to you and a label. So I use Avery 5160s. That's your regular address sheet labels. You can get 30 to a page. You can print your information. Scentsy has even a template on your workstation. You can have the little bar logo on the side, print that out, attach it to everything. Also think about the fact that you are a business owner, and if you have chicken scratch handwriting like I do, I hate my handwriting, it's horrible and nobody can ever read it, you're going to want to make sure that you're labeling. That might be one of the investments that you make outside of your kit, is either having them printed at Staples, ordering some from Vistaprint, whatever that looks like for you, but always make sure it has a path back to you. last but not least on this list of big mistakes that new consultants make, they rely too much on Facebook invites, e-invites. Those get overlooked. I cannot tell you how many pages I get invited to, and I just ignore them. So you want to make sure that for your parties, every guest gets, I call it layering your invitations. You want to make sure they get a verbal, written, text, and personal invite to your parties or to your events. Okay. So that could be your host saying, hey, I think I'm going to do the Scentsy party thing. Would you be interested in coming? Right? It could be, hey, I decided to do this Scentsy bingo night. Do you want to go ahead and join us? Here's the link. Then it could be a phone call, or it could be an email. It could be a private Facebook message. Oh, my throat was getting so dry tonight. Whatever it is, make sure they get personally invited, not spam, not just a Facebook invite, not you're just adding them to a group, a personal invite. This goes with anything you're inviting them to within your business, not just parties. My favorite night before invite / reminder is this. I'll text a host and I'll say, hey, Jackie, tomorrow night at your party, if you let people know if they show up wearing the color purple, they're going to get a free gift from me. Now, this is a little bit different because we're in quarantine, right? So go with me here. You could do it on a Facebook Live where they have to take a picture of themselves and they post it in the comments. They show up to Zoom wearing this color, whatever it is. So I'll say, if they show up tomorrow wearing the color pink, then they're going to get a special prize from me. So now Jackie's reaching out to all of her customers or party guests, and she's saying, hey, just so you know, tomorrow if you show up to my Facebook party or to my Zoom or whatever, wearing the color pink, my consultant's going to give you an extra gift. And so now she's had a reason to remind her party guests about the party without bugging them, because she's letting them know that they could be getting something free. Now, we're going to have to change this up a little bit because, again, quarantine. My personal choice of giving free stuff is always samples. I have what's called the scratch and dent bucket. And if I have a whole bunch of partial bars like this, then I will take these 2 cubes and I will break them up and put them into little baggies with the name of the fragrance on there. And I will let them choose from that bucket of free samples that they can go ahead and get 8 to 10 hours worth of free fragrance for showing up wearing the color pink. They get to try a new fragrance that possibly they want to buy. And I've rewarded them with product that's going to lead them to hopefully buying more down the road, right? If you don't have a lot of those partial bars or sampling items to give away, then I like to snag a bag of 100 grand candy bars, and it's a fun play on words because you can say, congratulations, you just won 100 grand. Doesn't cost you a whole lot, but you're still rewarding them, and who doesn't like chocolate, right? So, okay, I'm sure there's some of you out there that say, I don't like chocolate, but for the most part, we all love chocolate. So that is something that you can do that doesn't cost a whole lot of money because, again, we want you to make money in this business. So those are the big mistakes that consultants tend to make and that we don't want you to make. I have one last thing and then we're going to wrap it up and open it up for question and answer. But I want to talk to you guys about the 2-year plan. So as I mentioned, no matter what you are here for, if it is to make an extra $50 a month to get a discount on product, or you have big goals, this 2-year plan is going to be something that you can implement and will help you be successful and help you get to those goals no matter what that goal is. So again, the 2-year plan we have to kind of switch it up because we talk about live events and right now we can't do live events. But so here's a 2-year plan. If you focus on what it takes to earn $200 or $600 a month by selling $2,000 or 2,000 PRV, then you will find yourself moving towards what doctors, lawyers, and CEOs make. Insert income disclosure statement right here. So the first thing is to commit to 1 live, which now we're going to, after quarantine, have all of these booked and everybody's gonna want live events and you're gonna have like 10 of them a week instead of 1 a week, but just roll with me here. So it's to commit to 1 live home party or craft show or vendor event a week. The next is to keep 1 or more basket parties or on-the-go parties out a week. So real quickly, we didn't touch on that because again, there's always so much information, but basically that is an on-the-go party, which is going to be a lot of what we're doing right now. If you put together a basket or a bag with catalogs, testers, maybe a couple samples of things, it's basically an on-the-go party. And that is really the only thing that I would recommend as a new consultant that you invest in outside of your kit. is to make sure you have those little on-the-go parties or product that people can take and try and smell, and then get back to you with orders. So they collect the orders, they give them back to you, and that's an on-the-go party, a basket party, whatever you want to call it, but something they can take on the go. So one live event, which now we're probably going to have to do a Zoom event. We'll say that's our live basket party. On the go party could be a Facebook event or a bingo. Next would be to commit to hitting 2,000 in sales in 1 month, which qualifies you for that 30% commission for that month. And you get that $600 commission check here in the US. Next is to work to find 2 to 3 Scentsy business partners that can join you on this journey. Next is to listen to those live and recorded calls, whichever one you can tune into, because you got to show up to go up. And here is the main key and the kicker with this. Do these 5 actions and then teach your consultants to do the same. So they're also doing all 5 of these steps. And I promise you, if you commit to that together, that you guys will grow and grow and grow, and you will get to the goals that you have set for you. So that is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and check the comments real quickly and see if there were any other questions. If you do have questions, I don't know if Heather is wanting to open it up, or you can unmute your lines, whatever that looks like, but there's the chat. Okay. Oh, no questions in there. So yeah, if there's something that maybe you've come across as a new consultant that you want an answer to, or a question that we didn't get to touch on, you can just unmute your line and ask that question.
Hi.
Yes.
This is Marie. I had a quick question about the Flip It. When is that on the host rewards that we can flip it?
Yes. So with the Flip a Host, it is using the host credit. So at a 200 PRV party, you earn 20% and, or excuse me, 10%. And so that would be $20 in credit.
Okay.
A host kit is $59, and they can choose to use that $20 towards that, which would make it $39, or they can use the $20 towards other product and then just pay the $59 host kit. It is the steps to flip a host are a little bit intricate, for lack of a better word. And there is an FAQ if you just search that on your workstation that will like show you screenshots step by step of how to do that.
Okay, so if they earn up to $145 worth of stuff free, they could actually they don't even have to pay the $99, right?
Nope. So it would be the host exclusive kit at $59.
Oh, at $59? Instead of $99?
$59 for the host exclusive.
Okay.
It does have less stuff in it. So if they are able to spend the $99 and get a regular kit, I would say do it, because I think it has more value personally. But if that's not an option for them and they need to use their host credit towards that, then they would get the host exclusive $59 kit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really quick, I'm going to jump in and say something about the kit really quick. So I know a lot of times when you first join, y'all are trying to get your 500 so quick, and you focus on getting individual orders, which is great. Yes, you need them. But really, really, if I could give you the fast track to success, and if you don't take anything else I tell you to do other than this, if you will just find 3 to 5 hostesses before you start taking individual orders, that is going to get you to your shooting star. You're going to hit certified, and you will be on your way to level 1, 2, or 3, and already have a recruit faster than you taking individual orders. Because 9 times out of 10, the biggest mistake I see a consultant do is they start focusing solely on taking orders, and you don't ever, ever do the rest of this business. So like tonight, for example, had I not, this lady reached out to me and said, I'm a little bit on a budget. I don't have Scentsy in my home yet, but I would like to buy some product. Well, I offered her a party. We did her Facebook Live tonight. You don't have to have everything behind me, what we did. I didn't even show everything. I literally had everybody, I mailed them catalogs, and we did a catalog walkthrough together, walking them through the catalog. I don't even have any Disney, not one thing Disney behind me. And a Disney item was sold. So don't feel that you have to know everything, and don't focus on getting those individual orders, because what happens is that person places that $50, $60, $70 order with you, and it's done. we don't really care about their $70 order. It's the 250 people that are in their network and circle that you're trying to access to. So tonight, I had 8 to 10 people on a Facebook Live that I've never met before. And now I'm friend requesting, they're placing orders, and 4 people booked parties, which now has turned into a $50, $60 order. If I would not have opened my mouth and asked, I would have never had this potentially probably $2,000 to $3,000 in orders. All these new customers that I get to spoil. So if you're gonna do it the right way. And yes, people are gonna tell you no, and that's okay. But you better believe I'm gonna offer this hostess and say, girl, you've got a $400 party here. Do you wanna make this yours and have the commission on this? They're all gonna buy from you, and you can take these bookings. They're your friends. My goal is to get everyone flipped and join, give them the sales, because they're already their people. So every time you have $200 in orders, whether that's from one person or 6 people that equal 200 in orders, you find somebody that wants that host exclusive starter kit for $59, and you offer it to them. You don't have to give them the orders from it because they didn't do the work for the sales, but you sure as heck can offer that $59 host exclusive starter kit, and they can join your team. And that's the number one thing I can tell you that don't wait doing, for real.
I think I 100% agree with Heather. If you saw on my dashboard when I was going through the workstation where our numbers were, of all of that, my sales was just over $1,000 so far for the month, right? The rest of that is coming from building a team and an organization. This has been my full-time career, and it's been Heather's full-time career for a while now. And it's only because we foster, we build an organization, we work with you guys to help you reach your goals and dreams, and recruiting is the way to make that happen, and building a team. And I can see a couple of my team members here that I know that it's blessed their lives in more ways than they could ever count. And so I think focusing on that and saying, and letting them know, like, I have this at a discount, I'm offering that no matter what, because I know it's a blessing, can be a huge game changer.
It absolutely is. So I know she said you have to hear things 6 to 8 times before it sinks in. Focus on the host, or focus on the join, then the host, then the buy. Focus on the join, then the host, and then the buy. Focus on the join, the host, and then the buy. Focus on the join, the host, and then the buy. Is this closer? Is it sinking in yet? Once that light bulb goes off and it starts happening, it happens quickly. And the minute you just focus and go that route, big things happen in your business. But you determine what your paycheck is every month. That's either by selling or sponsoring. So if you are great at sales, you continue writing your own paycheck every month, because you know every single month, whatever you sell is going to be 25% once you're certified. If you sell over 2,000 in a calendar month, yes, you'll be making 30%, but you know what your check will be every single month. If I have a team underneath me, there is endless opportunities at what my check could be, and that you have no control over, right? In a good way. So think about that.
There's 2 things I want to add to that. Is one, we set our goals for our personal sales. We do what we have to do, all of that fun jazz. And like Heather said, we know what we're going to get for that. Right now, I know our group, and I'm pretty sure Heather and most of the Scentsy family is tracking along with November's numbers, which November, I think Christmas, like big, huge months. That means we're going to get paychecks that are November looking paychecks in April because of the team that we've built, fostered, and organized, right? Like working with and training and all of that stuff. And that is so incredible. It's something that you could never do on your own. It's a residual income that you could, is so amazing. The next thing I want to say real quickly is that, like Heather said, don't wait to start sponsoring. Don't wait to go down that path, because until you know everything. I know a lot of times we hold off from even doing parties or even talking to people about sales or recruiting or joining because we feel like we have to know everything. And really, that's something I need to add to that list of biggest mistakes that consultants make, is waiting to know everything. Learn as you go. Just dive in. And your biggest, like, the thing to remember is, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm new at this. I have an awesome upline. Let me just go ahead and reach out to them and see what answers they can give me. I can get that answer. I'm not worried about it. We'll figure it out, right? Just have that be your go-to line is, that's a really good question. I'm still new at this. Let me go ahead and find out. And that will be your scapegoat through everything that you do. Do not wait to start taking action.
Right. And stay plugged in. Don't check out. One of the most favorite things I've ever heard was from Superstar Director Jill McCarthy. And it is for however many days you take a break or put off on your business and don't work it, it takes just as long to get your business back. So think about that the next time you're thinking, gosh, do I want to follow up, or should I make these calls and ask if they can host a party? The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take to get it back rolling again, smooth sailing. So think about that. You've got to be consistent, and you've got to work your business. If you see you working your business 7 days a week, they know you're a steady consultant, right? They know this is a real job to you. If anybody ever asks me, are you still selling Scentsy? Are you still doing Scentsy? That means I am not doing my job. And that means I need to be talking, sharing, wearing, put it on my car, Scentsy, as much as I possibly can, because if they ask me that, I am not getting out there as a Scentsy lady enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have last minute questions? We kept a few on.
I know it's a lot to take in. It's, again, there's going to be still so many things that we can never even touch on to help you build your business. And it's just going to be learning day by day.
Well, I have something to say. I've just joined this month, and I am flabbergasted by reaching my goals within like bam, bam, right? I mean, back to back, one consultant. I just closed today, and I'm at level 1, and that's just under a month. It hasn't even been a month, and I'm like, this is crazy. I've never been in that. I have other businesses, but nothing so recognizable as this, like it's a consumable. It's something that everyone uses, everybody is doing. And I'm like, wow.
Marie, I saw your name stuck out the most. So I sent everybody's packages that joined for March and April. It was 19 people that joined. You are the one that is the furthest and has progressed the fastest out of all 19 people. And I will tell you, when I joined Scentsy, I was selling for 2 other companies. I joined direct sales when I was 18. I've sold for 12 companies. There is no other company like Scentsy as fast, exactly like you're saying. It's set up and has you for success, to build a team, to get rewarded. The generosity, the people, everything is set in place for success. It's just up to us on how fast we want to get there. And you are setting a very high standard. I mean, even with your recruit and already having in sales of what you've already done, it is tremendous. And so I am just so blessed that you found Scentsy and you decided to take a chance, because a lot of times people that do other businesses or try to juggle, that you only have 24 hours in a day, and you can only give so much energy into whatever you're getting it, right? The grass is green where you water it. Wherever you put that water is where it's going to happen.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm working with one kit, for the samples. I'm about to order 5 more so that I can do 5 people in a day and pick up orders, because that's what's been working for me. Just dropping it off, picking up the orders and going. And I never get a no. and
think about every person that you're dropping off the orders to take. If you said, hey, Karen, I'm so glad you love this orders, but would you like to get yours for free and half price? Let me set you up a link and we'll do a 30-minute live. That one order now just gained you 15 to 20 people and quadrupled your party.
Exactly. Now you opened up my mind to bigger.
Oh, girl, in 30 minutes. Like when I tell you tonight, this party's been open a week in a Facebook group. I've been posting maybe once, twice a day. That's it. Tonight I went live for 42 minutes and I have 4 bookings and 16 new people that I have access to in 30 minutes.
So now I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be doing the baskets. I ordered some stuff. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it a different way with the basket, since coronavirus, if you don't want to do the testers, just buy some bars and cut those cubes down into thin slices. So you're earning PRV on the product you're buying, and make your own samples that they can just keep and you don't need anything back.
Okay. Yeah, I got those already.
Okay.
I got those on the works already.
You're awesome. You are killing it, Marie, and I
Thank you.
just applaud you already. I can't wait to see where you go. You're
I just love the way it's set up. I mean, it's just got me going, and I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try to
Thank
get
you.
everyone to join your team and keep getting those bookings, girl. It's going to change your business fast.
All righty. Thank you. It's nice talking to y'all. Thank you
Thanks for
coming.
getting on.
You're welcome.
That's incredible. Yeah, she just
That is
joined.
so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
I see her beautiful picture because I'm like, I just printed that off and stuck it on her package and mailed them out. So
That is so awesome.
yeah, and building a business in coronavirus, right? In a pandemic, this is insane.
It is.
It's insane because other businesses are not doing this good.
No, other businesses that I'm in right now, they're like, what are you doing? I was like, girl, you got to join. We're almost there.
Girl, you will be a director before you know it. I have no doubt. Yep. Anybody else have a success story like that? I mean, that's kind of hard to top.
I just kept beating all my goals. It's just happening. I don't even know. It's just everybody's buying. I mean, yeah.
Good problem to have, right?
Right.
Well, I said, if I'm buying, I know other people have to be buying.
That they are.
That they are. That they are. All right, guys. Anybody else have a question before we wrap it up? I'm going to stop the recording.